Welcome back to our Busting Addiction and Its Myths podcast. I'm Bruno J., and I have updated the introduction to our episodes in order to address an issue that we cannot ignore, nor do we want to. It looks like COVID-19, the coronavirus, will be with us for some time. Some say for another year or two. People are as frightened as they ever have been. They seek safety for their families above all, protection from the virus and from economic insecurity. But many families also face an added burden, drug addiction and alcoholism in their own homes, and what to do about it. There's something you should know. We, Safe House Rehab Thailand, were founded on the idea of safety. We hold on to the truth that clients deserve to come to a treatment clinic where they can at least feel safe and sound. Devoting ourselves to safety first gives us the firm foundation upon which everything else is constructed, hence our name, Safe House Rehab Thailand. Thailand has been recognized as one of the world's safest places to be during the pandemic. Further, we at Safe House have made the right adjustments so that clients and staff remain and feel safe and sound. Masks are mandatory, as is social distancing, mandatory hand cleaning, daily blood oximeter readings, which is an early warning measure, and if by chance anyone doesn't feel well, the local hospital in Bang Bung is only minutes away. My podcast, Busting Addiction and Its Myths, is dedicated to serving families of still suffering addicts and alcoholics by providing evidence-based advice and insight so that you can make a better informed decision on what to do and what not to do. We are sponsored by Safe House Rehab Thailand, dedicated to a modern approach to recovery, which means that we absolutely outperform traditional rehabs when it comes to diagnostics, technology, and aftercare. To learn how we can help, just visit safehouserehab.com, where we post the latest news. Hi, I'm Bruno J., and welcome back to Busting Addiction and Its Myths, and if you're a first-time listener, welcome aboard. This podcast series has over 56 weekly episodes broadcast without a break. It demonstrates the commitment that Safe House Rehab Thailand has made to bring the truth about addiction to the families and friends of those suffering from addictive disease, which also includes the family itself along with the addict or alcoholic. Today I want to talk about my sponsor's aftercare program, which we call We Care. What is aftercare? Look at it this way. Treatment is just a course correction for the client or the patient that gets him to start thinking and behaving in a healthy way without the interference of drugs or alcohol. But what about the rest of his or her life? We believe that we as a treatment team have a fundamental responsibility to give our clients the tools and the follow-up to optimize the chances of a lifetime of clean and sober living, well beyond the 30, 60, 90 or more days that they spend in an intensive treatment or in a sober living facility. One of the tools we provide for clients as a quick reminder when they get back home is what we call the 12 spokes of the recovery wheel. Here's what we say about the wheel. You need to keep your recovery wheel rolling smoothly along. You will then keep your balance even when you hit a rough spot on recovery road. All 12 spokes need to be strong and firmly in place. Lose one or two, and your wheel gets wobbly. Lose more, and your wheel could collapse unless you take quick corrective action. Collapse equals relapse. End quote. This is what we leave our clients with by way of sound advice on what it takes to own your own recovery. It's based on practicing simple principles, knowing that we all get a daily reprieve contingent on the maintenance of our spiritual condition. So to give yourself the best chance of success every day, we say to our clients, put these principles into practice one day at a time. 1. Make the spoken and written commitment that you will do what it takes to stay sober and clean one day at a time, and let your family share in that commitment so that they can support you in the We Care program. Not just using or drinking just for today can turn into a lifetime because it's always today. No one can handle forever, but you can handle one day at a time. 2. Whether or not you've adopted the idea of a higher power, it is vital that you give up your old ways of thinking and change your thinking so that you begin to believe in a bigger and better idea, however you wish to define it. We say, my best thinking got me here, so we need to be solving our thinking problem, which will persist well after we solve the drinking problem. 3. Think relapse prevention. Don't be fooled by your addictive voice, your voice of relapse, that you're cured and that you can go out there again and survive this, because you might not. Young people believe that they're invincible and that there are endless second chances, when that is simply not true. The illusion that we can someday drink like normal people has to be smashed, in the words of one of our co-founders. You might as well dispose of any substances and alcohol that you might have forgotten to throw out before you checked in the safe house. Thereby, you turn your own house into your own safe house. It's a place to sober up in and start living your sober life for real. No point in having these opportunities to cheat on your recovery anywhere within your easy reach. 5. If you're sharing a home with people, roommates, family, boyfriend, girlfriend, who either do not support your recovery or wish to keep alcohol around, then you will be forced to make some choices as to your living arrangements. This is after you explain to the people with whom you share a home that it's vital that you keep away from close-in triggers. It's best to consult with your safe house counselor or your counselor at home or your sponsor on the best course of action to take. Number 6, you need to create a balanced structure for yourself. Balance means time for work or school, time for recovery and fellowship, time for physical activity, time for sleep, and time for socializing and fun. Plan out your time for the week so that you always know what's next on your schedule, even if it's bedtime or TV time. A lack of discipline in your life when you were chasing the high is not your life anymore. Discipline will make you free. Staying away from boredom by staying busy is the way to keep out relapsing thinking. 7. The other side of the do's are the major don'ts. You might as well decide who are you going to hang around with, and it cannot be your old using or drinking buddies in the places you go. Stay away from the bars and liquor stores if you drank before. Stay out of the crack house and avoid any person, place, or event that could trigger the craving to use or drink, like a party, a football game, or even a girlfriend or boyfriend with whom you used to drink wine and smoke some weed. 8. Meetings are the cornerstone of your recovery program, both today and into the future. This is where you meet other people with whom you can relate to as recovering addicts and alcoholics and not feel ashamed because you share the same disorder and you share a better future. This is where you begin to make friends who are on the same path, with whom you can hang out after a meeting and whom you can call anytime you like. Money cannot buy these kinds of relationships, as they're indeed priceless, and they could last a lifetime. 9. Having a sponsor is like having a tour guide for the program, in particular in helping you through the 12 steps. Face it, you're walking into the unknown, and you need someone who can help dispel your fears and give you the confidence that you can really do this. To ease your fears, your sponsor might say something like, hey, if a person as screwed up as I was can stay clean and sober for this many years, then anyone can. I say this to the guys that I sponsor myself. 10. Working the 12 steps of AA, NA, or CA, that is Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, or Cocaine Anonymous, and others, after you leave inpatient treatment in a sober living environment, is the key to the internal personal changes you need to make in order to live a decent, clean, and sober life, which will free you to chase your dreams. You need a sponsor who has worked the steps and continues to do so, and you need the essential ingredient of the courage to be honest. We say at the end of some of our meetings, it works if you work it and if you're honest with yourself. At this point, we should quickly point out to our listeners or readers that we do not, nor does AA, claim that AA or similar 12-step programs are the only answer to long-term recovery. There are lots of ways to stay clean and sober. All we're saying is this is what worked for us. Would you care to join us? 11. Expressing gratitude through action will put you in a positive emotional place. You have no doubt been asked while in treatment to make a list of the big and small things for which you could feel truly grateful. Chief among them, the willingness and the ability to get the help you need. You need to go beyond just feeling gratitude to actually demonstrating it by taking action, such as helping set up meetings or running errands, whatever it takes, for that is the way of getting out of yourself and learning how to become a selfless human being, which is really the key to recovery. 12. Becoming aware of your behavior, feelings, and thoughts is absolutely critical, especially in the early going. Your subconscious is still hard at work trying to get you to say it's either okay or necessary to do the drug or take a drink to escape reality. That's why it's important to talk it out with someone in the program, ideally with your sponsor. He or she will have you understand that emotions and cravings will pass if you don't entertain them and act on them. So relax, but stay alert. So what have we learned from our review of the recovery wheel? 1, treatment is a short but necessary period that gives the client an opportunity to change the way he thinks and behaves. 2, therefore, the most important part of recovery is what happens on a daily basis after the client leaves treatment. 3, that's why we focus so much on our aftercare. Our We Care program is built on the recovery wheel and the follow-up, designed to optimize the chances of long-term sobriety. 4, the 12 spokes of recovery are a handy reminder for our clients to focus on their recovery first or increase the risk of relapse. And 5, bottom line, recovering addicts and alcoholics need to own their own recovery, for what we do is help people help themselves. Thank you for tuning in today. This podcast is sponsored by SafeHouseRehab.com. SafeHouse Rehab represents the modern approach to recovery founded on safety as our first priority. We absolutely outperform traditional rehabs with a sophisticated intake protocol, application of new techniques, and a more robust aftercare program.